Stop wasting your time with all the yoga, meditation, especially the crystals, the incense, the supplements. You are wasting your time trying to activate this. And in this video, I'll give you some very indispensable pointers and tips and insights into activating the most important part of the human anatomy, the most important part of the subtle body, and that is the third eye. But before we get started, I'd like you to smash that like button, that subscribe button, follow me for more content like this. We are all one, we're all on this journey together, and in this short video I'd like to give you the insights on what I've been doing. This is part one. This is unscripted. This will be followed up with additional content, but this is just to kind of get the information out there to people who might be struggling or wasting their time trying to activate their pineal gland, which generally speaking is completely calcified. Some of us were born with open or active third eyes, and some of us are in the process of reclaiming that and reactivating that. But whatever phase in this journey you are in, you should know that this gland, this part of us, the third eye, is the most important. And once it's fully online and activated, our troubles in this three-dimensional reality as an individual entity are essentially over. Meaning that we have anchored in a higher level of consciousness. We are aware that this is a dream, that it is our consciousness that is projecting this dream. You could also say this is a simulation. That seems to be a buzzword, that we are living in a non-local holographic simulation, that we are all one, that consciousness is fundamental. You are consciousness, I am consciousness. And as this pineal gland becomes decalcified and activated, we can see through the illusory nature of this three-dimensional reality. We can develop abilities like clairvoyance, telepathy. This antenna comes online and we are synced to higher aspects of ourselves, guided, led, and we live a much more blissful, fulfilling life where the personal identity, the ego, the I has been taken out of the equation or is being taken out of the equation, and life more or less flows effortlessly. We're able to manifest things a lot more effortlessly. But without further ado, let's dive into this real quick. So I'm going to break this into two phases. First phase being decalcification. You've taken birth on planet Earth, and unless you grew up in extremely rare, extremely unique circumstances where you were not exposed to chlorine or the countless chemicals that are bombarding us in our air, our water, our food, our hygiene. So that's most of us. That's essentially all of us. You are wasting your time with all this other work until you have eliminated the toxins, eliminated the fluoride, the calcium that's in our toothpaste and our water. Unless you have gone to great lengths, no spring water only. You may invest in a water filter, but you need to be making sure that there's no chloride or fluoride in your water. And I could make a whole video on toxin elimination, but decalcification is the first step by removing toxins, by refining our diet to only whole foods, which is a lot to ask for some people, but not everyone is going to make it into higher consciousness. A large segment, unfortunately, are programmed to remain in this matrix. But if you're watching this, I'm certain you're not one of them, and I am here as your other self. I'm another aspect of you to give you insight, because it's a miracle that I'm here. It's a miracle that I'm alive. I shouldn't be here. And my third eye, and it's because of my third eye, which I haven't even fully activated yet, but what I can tell you is the degree to which it's activated now, I have no worries about what's going to happen on a global stage. I have no disregard the news, disregard social media. I mean, I do create content because I'm under contract to create content and to be a beacon for those who are struggling out there, who have not found their way, that we are all one, and that higher levels of evolution and development are the answer, that you just need to turn within. But decalcification is that first phase. That pineal gland, 99% of people, it's calcified. We need to decalcify it. Spring water, holistic, all whole foods, organic foods from the earth, and be careful, any exposure to chlorine or fluoride, that it goes directly to that pineal gland. So it also includes a very balanced diet of minerals. So once we have been on this healing journey, once we have that initial awakening, we realize, we pretty much destroyed our pineal glands, like I had. Once we realize that, there's a healing journey underway. You're not going to get into higher levels of evolution and development until you've undertaken this healing journey back towards wholeness, where we don't need chemicals, we don't need external substances. All we need is love and knowledge of who we are, and to abide in the truth of who we are. So once that healing journey is underway, boom, here are the pointers, man. Forget all the supplements. Yes, meditation's great, but nothing can substitute yogic breath work. Pranayama. Doing tons of pranayama. Kachari mudra. That's where the tongue goes on the roof of the mouth to direct this Kundalini energy to the pineal gland. I've also undertaken fasting, semen retention, or the study of the sacred secretion, semen regulation, in that you do not want to waste the seed, because there's a lunar cycle. That this is deeply occulted information. And if you want to hear more about it, just let me know in the comments, and I'll share some information on when we need to abstain from releasing sexual energy, so that the sacred secretion, the Christos, can return back up to the pineal gland. That has been hugely, fundamentally important and indispensable, these practices of fasting and semen retention. I also use an inversion table. Maybe I'll throw in some B-roll of me hanging upside down, which I do twice a day, between breathwork sessions or between work, to get that fluid in the lower centers and get it moving upwards into the higher centers, because there are crystals in our cerebral spinal fluid that are imprinted with knowledge of this whole entire cosmos. And when it hits that pineal gland, buddy, your eyes are open. You see things as they are, which is that there's a radiance to the world. There's a radiance, a luminosity, and seeing the underlying reality that penetrates every atom in this universe. That is you. That is who you are, who I am, who we all are. But the heart center eventually has to be awakened. We have to be pursuing and living an authentic life. We're living from the heart, a loving place, because the heart center really has to be awakened. I've seen a lot of people, bless their hearts, on the internet and on the global stage who proclaim themselves to be enlightened, proclaim themselves to be self-realized, and are completely devoid of love and joy. What would be the point of opening a third eye if we weren't full of love and joy? I will say, on this journey, one thing that was indispensable for me that I no longer partake in, but helped me early on, in addition to my initial Kundalini awakening in 2020, around that time, I used plant medicine, psilocybin specifically, magic mushrooms, which will give you a glimpse of what an open third eye looks like, because these sacred psychedelics from Mother Gaia give you a glimpse of reality as it is. It opens the third eye. So it gives you a kind of a target of what you want to be integrating with your breath work, with your fasting, with your yoga, with your disciplines, your meditation, to what an open third eye will look like when the pineal gland is fully decalcified and activated, and the cerebral spinal fluid is just popping, the Kundalini is popping, and we have essentially embodied higher aspects of ourselves. to such a degree that we do not fear what I would call dark, demonic, evil forces who have enslaved the masses here on this third rock from the sun, because we realize that there is no physical universe. This is a projection. So if I want to change the projection, I don't go out into the world. I'm looking in a mirror and I see a reflection that I don't like. Do I try to clean the mirror off or adjust the mirror? No, I don't. I simply change what I'm projecting. So a lot of that is abiding in truth and the confidence of knowing that there are millions of people like me who have attained this grade of evolution, and we're just getting started. I just got started on the spiritual path 5 years ago. A lot of you may know I'm in long-term recovery. I was a journalist. I destroyed my career. It was in my karmic contract that I would undertake severe forms of alcoholism, drug addiction, which should have killed me, and it did multiple times, but kept getting pushed back into this matrix to do the work I'm doing now for you, for all of you beautiful souls. I wish you could see the life that I manifested for myself by getting rid of self. Because when I'm gone, all my needs are taken care of, because I'm more concerned with looking out and helping others. And that's what this content is about. It's about fulfilling my dharma, fulfilling my duty that I came here to participate in, and letting you all know we create our own reality. The world as we perceive it is not what it appears to be, because it's all you. It's all a giant house of mirrors. And I love you guys. So other insights I'll say is that the third eye is what projects our consciousness into the third dimension. It is a key to our psychic abilities, and that once it's activated, when it activates, you'll feel a pressure. Feel pressure. It's not right here on the forehead, but it's actually more like at the intersection of these two lines inside the head. And that's why the tongue, the Kachari Mudra, the tongue on the back of the throat is so important, is because you want to direct that energy into the Sushumna channel and into the third eye. The third eye actually is overlaid onto the subtle body, the soul, which is eternal. And the soul is overlapped onto this physical body, but it's in a state of distortion. It's in a sleeping state because it is being filtered through the physical body. The physical body needs to be perfected. The DNA needs to be evolved more, so we have access more to our soul's innate abilities, which are, some of these abilities would blow your mind. Check out my book. It's not for beginners. I'll leave, if you go to my page, or I'll try to leave it in the comments, my book on the cities. It's next level spiritual development that it's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the novice practitioner. None of this is. This third eye activation, it's only for the adept who's prepared to uncoil the false self, to peel away the layers of the onion of the fictitious identity that we were given at birth. We were lied to. We were given a social security number. We were bought and born into slavery, just like they say in the Matrix. And we spent most of our lives defending this false identity who was pretending and masquerading to be us, the Purusha, the pure self, pure consciousness. And folks, if you can't smile about this, if you can't abide in a sense of joy and lightheartedness, you're on the wrong channel. Actually, you're on the right channel. Just lighten up, learn to laugh, learn to love. Open your eye, open your third eye. I say this is part one because I know that my guides have told me that I will evolve more, that I will see what they see. Essentially, I will see oneness will no longer be a flickering reality. And I'm still in the throes of immense, intense sadhana, intense development. And it's the joy of my life to get to do that. I take a break to make this content because I've created so much abundance and freedom in my life that I am under dharmic obligation to, I can't pronounce, to be of service, because I'm on some of these forums with other starseeds and read it, man, some of y'all are hurting out there, man. My heart goes out to you. I've been there. I was there. I didn't know at the time who I was, but once I realized, like the thirsty traveler, right? In the parable of the thirsty traveler approaches a well in twilight. He looks down and he sees a snake, right? And he recoils, right? And then someone tells him, it's not a snake, that's a rope. Once he has that knowledge that there's no snake. Where will the snake? He can't be scared anymore. And that's what awakening is. When we finally have knowledge that we're actually creating this reality, that it's a mirror, we aren't the individual, the snake isn't real. So just as a person who regards a snake, right? Just as a person who regards a snake as a rope is overcome with fear, so also one considering themselves as the ego is overcome by fear. The egocentric individuality in us regains fearlessness by realizing it is not a jiva, it is not an individual soul, but it is itself, the supreme soul. As indicated by the great Mahavakyas, the oneness of the individual soul and the supreme soul has to be realized. And this realization is the radiance of life, the purpose of all evolution, the pinnacle of existence. Is that Tat Tevamasi, I am that. Okay? You are that. There is nothing but that. God alone is real. Praise him and rejoice him, but see God in all things and strive to overcome the personal identity. Oh, and there's another download there from my guides. One thing I did not mention in this video that is important that I do mention. The fundamental key to opening the third eye is seeing reality as one seamless whole. You're able to cultivate the vision of oneness through jhana yoga or meditation, but every moment of your waking day, when the radiance, the underlying reality of the seer becomes one, and you see all things as one, the spell of illusion of Maya is lifted, your third eye will have no choice but to blossom open. And that's what's happening. I would say within the next few years, I would look for radical changes in the external world. But then again, the world isn't real. It's a projection. So even this is going to reach the right people. You are going to continue on this path. The powers that rule this earth are in the last power plays out. They're in their own reality, in their own frequency domain. And there are negative timelines, man. I've seen where I don't envy these trillionaires one bit, because they are, despite the appearance of wealth, they are slaves, and their job is to enslave others. And the positive polarity, which I'm on and many of you are on, is to free others, to liberate others, to disseminate information like this, because we are heading into a golden age, human existence, and these cycles repeat themselves throughout eternity. There is no death. They'll also know that when your third eye is open, is that this physical body serves the purposes of a body while it's taken to be real, but when it's taken to be unreal, it proves to be as insubstantial as space. When you're in a dream, right, you're wandering around in this dream body at night, you are the entire dream. You could go on for hundreds of years in this dream body, encountering all these other people that are you. But when you waken, what happens to that dream body? Nothing ever happened. It was a dream. And the dream will go on. Hey, I hope y'all are living the dream, manifesting abundance, manifesting freedom, creativity. Work on that right brain, work on that pineal gland. Balance the Ida and Pingala, man. It's the middle path. We are all one. I love you. Hope you're having a wonderful week.